welcome back to my channel, guys. Today we're doing my all-time favorite movie, Halloween, 15 fun facts about when they were filming from all the franchises from the beginning to now, and let's get right into it. So number one is it was originally called The Babysitter Murders. As referenced by a character in 2018 sequel, Halloween was initially going to be titled The Babysitter Murders. The thought on this one, I don't know for sure if I agree with it, because not all the killings he did or murders or unaliving was babysitters. Sure, that was a theme of young girls or young characters in the movie, but it got to be more intense, and anyone that basically got in his way, he would unalive. However, I also found that he did have a target. If you haven't noticed, a lot of young girls, but he stayed away from kids, is what I noticed, or babies and stuff like that. He didn't do that. However, I think there was times where he almost did. Number two, director John Carpenter's then girlfriend co-wrote the screenplay with him. As the director, John Carpenter often gets all the credit for Halloween, but he didn't do it alone. Deborah Hill, a producer on the film, and Carpenter's then girlfriend, actually co-wrote the film with him. She also helped write some of the sequel films, including Halloween 2 back in 1981. So I'm curious, are they still together? I'm going to say no. Carpenter. Doesn't even look like they were married. So, however, give some girls some credit when they do help you out with stuff. However, the screenplay for the Halloween is really good, and the second one is just as good. The original screenplay, number 3, the original screenplay was written in 2 weeks. According to Vulture, after the movie was a go, executive producer Irwin Yablans wanted to get it out before its titular holiday in 1978. The writers turned the screenplay around in about 2 weeks, and the filming took just 22 days. That's a short amount of time to film, right? I would think so. Original. That's crazy, though. Only 2 weeks to write, but it almost seems easy too, because there's not really a plot. It's always like just Michael Myers unaliving people. I don't know for sure. There's kind of a plot because we know the storyline of him. There's a serial killer out there and they're trying to find him, but he's not just going after one person. He's going after many people, or anyone really. And I am curious as to why he picks his victims, because sometimes you see him walking away from victims or potential victims too. So I am curious. Number 4, the production team had a low budget of $300,000. Per Vulture, Yablans secured $300,000 for the horror film, which was financed in part Syrian-American film producers and director Mustafa Akkad. Because of the tight budget, they couldn't hire major stars, and Carpenter himself but put together the now iconic score to save money. Today, Halloween is a multi-million-dollar franchise, which is definitely believable. We have a lot more people invested in horror movies, it seems, these days. Also, Jamie Lee Curtis is probably very grateful, because that is her character is an iconic character now. Back then it wasn't, but sometimes great things take time, and that's a perfect example of Halloween and the movie itself. The budget's low, but for a movie like this, I'm not in the industry, but it almost seems like you don't need a big budget, and sometimes less is more. Number 5 is Haddonfield is a real town. Haddonfield is a real town, but it's not in Illinois. Haddonfield was inspired by a name after Hill's hometown in New Jersey, but the film takes place in Illinois, so I'm assuming that is in New Jersey. Number 6, the real Mike Myers house isn't anywhere near New Jersey or Illinois. The actual house used in the film is in South Pasadena. I was going to say, was there a real Michael Myers? The actual house was used in the film is in South Pasadena, California. Originally built at 709 Meridian Avenue, the structure was set to be demolished in the late 1980s, but was saved, designated as a landmark by the city, and relocated to its current address, 1000 Mission Street. For those who can't make it to the West Coast, there's also a replica of Myers' house in Hillsborough, North Carolina. Oh, I was in North Carolina a long time ago. If only I knew. Now I know, so I'm going to be going back there. So number 7, the face of Michael Myers got paid $250. In the first film, Nick Castle portrays the masked shape slowly carving his way through Haddonfield, but Tony Moran played Michael Myers at the moment his mask comes off to reveal the all-too-human face beneath. Moran was paid the handsome sum of $250 to be a serial killer for the day. Number 8, a stuntman, Dick Warlock, was cast as Michael Myers in Halloween by being creepy. When Halloween 2 in 1981 came out, was gearing up to recast Myers, stuntman Dick Warlock scored a meeting with Hill and director Rick Rosenthal. He saw the Myers mask outside Rosenthal's office and inspiration struck. Donning it, he went into Rosenthal's office and stood silently, refusing to speak as Rosenthal continued asking who he was and what he was doing. The freak out worked. By dressing for the job he wanted, Warlock ended up playing the Shape in Halloween 2. Number 9 is Michael Myers became Laurie Strode's brother because of writer's block and beer. Always gotta have beer involved. Since there was never meant to be another movie about Laurie and Michael Carpenter, and Hill had no backstory to pull from Halloween 2, I didn't think there was any more story, and I didn't want to do it again. Carpenter told Deadline, but I had to write the second movie, and every night I sat there and wrote with a 6-pack of beer trying to get through this thing, and I didn't do a very good job, but that was it, and I couldn't do any more. Number 10 is Jimmy the paramedic survives in the TV edit of Halloween 2. Jimmy Lant, the plucky paramedic who has a crush on Laurie following the traumatic events of the first film, seems to solely exist in Halloween 2 back in 1981 to flirt and pass out a lot from a head injury. His other main purpose was to collapse on a car horn to signal to Michael where Laurie was hiding. His last act on screen is to pass out, leaving us to wonder if playing unalived is the best way to survive a good way to unalive from an ironic lack of medical care. The Tamer edit gives Jimmy a happier ending. He appears in the same ambulance as Laurie, grabs her hands and says, "We made it." The franchise's general choose-your-own-adventure vibe means fans get to decide for themselves what really happened to them. Did he and Laurie fall in love, get married, and have a daughter named Jamie, and ended up passing away in a car crash together? Did he unalive that Halloween night after helping Laurie's escape? So those choices are up to you to decide what you would like to see from the movie or what you would like to think about when you think of the movie. Because not going to lie, the storylines throughout the franchise is really confusing. They are not very clear, and it kind of goes back and forth from Jamie Lee Curtis to being not feeling good to whatever. And yeah, I just have to stop recording. Give me one moment. Guys, so I had to take an important phone call, so I just wanted to know your opinion and let me know below, like, if you had some sort of confusion with the storyline between that little girl in the third one who was being haunted by Michael Myers, who's her niece, or who's Michael Myers' niece, and Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter in the movie. So where was she in the movie? Like, was she taken away for 11 months? Was she, like, unalived? Like, what do you guys think happened, and what story would you like to believe? Another part was, I never knew Michael Myers was not human. I always thought he was human until they started making remakes in 2020. So that was really confusing to me too. I always thought he was human, and let me know if you guys, when you guys like realized, oh no, he's not human and he is the demon or whatever he is. I'd like to know your opinions. And now there's rumors that there's a new one coming out. So I think we'll get more. Number 11, Jamie Lee Curtis had a secret cameo in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. So this is the one I believe I was talking about. Hill and Carpenter envisioned the original Halloween as the first installment in a holiday-themed series of horror tales, but the popularity of Michael Myers hijacked that idea after reluctantly agreeing to Halloween 2, a sequel starring Myers yet again. The writers sought to, of course, correct by leaving Myers out of Halloween 3 entirely and focusing on a completely different plot about magical Halloween costumes. Even though there's no Myers nor any mention of Laurie Strode, they still found a way for Jamie Lee Curtis to make a sneaky cameo. She voiced a telephone operator as well as the person who announces the town curfew. So Halloween 3 is not... I forgot about that one. I did not like that one. It was good, but it was weird. It was weird not to see, like, Michael Myers being, like, the original serial killer. The original film is famous for turning a William Shatner mask into one of the most iconic totems of horror film history. And the third film is famous for contorting a children's rhyme into the hypnotic earworm commercial jingle for Silver Shamrock. After taking in loads of cash from 2 films, the third was still not given a healthy production budget, so Hill suggested using London Bridge's Falling Down as the basis for the tune because it was in the public domain. Fortunately, there's a 10-hour version online for everyone to unironically enjoy. Number 12. Someone called the cops thinking Danielle Harris was really in danger while filming Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. After a fan revolt demanding Michael Myers return for a 4th installment of Halloween, the story shifted from following Laurie Strode to focusing on her adolescent daughter, Jamie Lloyd. While shooting a scene where Jamie screams while running down the street, neighbors called the cops because they thought Harris was genuinely in danger. Well, that's good to hear. I was banging on doors, yelling for someone to help me after I got lost trick-or-treating or something, Harris explained in the 25 Years of Terror documentaries. And then we'll go to number 13. Is artist Bob Gleason accidentally hit an ominous monster in the original movie poster? If you look closely at the hand holding the knife on the original Halloween movie poster, you can make out an open-mouthed face in the knuckles. When the poster was put out for auction in 2016, artist Bob Gleason included a letter that explained how the detail came about. While painting the hand, my thought was to have dramatic lights and dark shapes to match the strobes, stabbing effects of the pumpkin, he wrote. I did not consciously know I was infusing the back of the hand, a screaming monster with worms coming out of his mouth, eye, and nose. The letter continued, this kind of freaks me out. I couldn't have done it better if I had tried that. What dark nightmares lurk in my psyche. Number 14 is Michael Myers didn't speak until 2007 after 29 years of mostly wearing a mask and silently stalking his victims. Michael Myers had his first line in Halloween 2007. He spoke in Halloween 2 2009. So is that like him being young? Because the one in 2007 he was a little kid and everything. So I am curious to know like if like that, because that's like that's the coming of Michael Myers, so I am curious about that. Number 15, this is the last we'll do. Jamie Lee Curtis landed a lead role in the film because of her famous mom. Jamie Lee Curtis was cast in the original Halloween because Hill thought having the daughter of an actress, Janet Leigh, would help the low-budget film at the box office. I knew casting Jamie Lee would be great publicity for the film because her mother was in Psycho. At least I knew she had the genes to scream well, Hill told Cinefantastique News in 1998. Her character's name, Laurie Strode, was also based off of one of Carpenter's ex-girlfriends. So that's pretty much it for you guys, for me. Let me know what your favorite Halloween movie was. I'm on a marathon with my spouse right now, and it's going great, and I love them. Those ones are my favorite Halloween movies. You guys have a great rest of your day, and let me know what movies you'd like to hear from me next. Maybe I'll do The Grudge. Maybe I'll just do a fun Halloween movie that's not spooky, like Halloween Town, and why they switched out the main characters. And nothing against it, but I was just always curious about that. Anyways, you guys have a great, lovely evening. Bye now.